Coming up, Marvin Bagley. Hey, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you can be part of the Hustle Hoops notification gang. So you can get informed when we have new videos, which should be coming almost daily, and when our weekly giveaways start. Now to Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley is a 6'11", 230-pound freshman power forward center from Phoenix, Arizona. Really from Tempe, Arizona, I think. But I think he went to prep school in Phoenix, Arizona. He did his 1 year of college at Duke University. They got eliminated, I think, in the Elite Eight. In a very good game. Marvin Bagley is probably the most athletic big man in this draft. He was a very consistent scorer this year. He averaged 21 points per game, 11.1 rebounds per game. He shot 61% from the field and almost 40% from three-point line on a little under 2 attempts per game. He was 63% from the free throw line. He did, he averaged 1.5 assists and almost a block a game. Now, the biggest thing with Marvin Bagley is that athleticism in that 6'11", 230-pound frame. Marvin Bagley is very, very quick changing ends of the floor. He has probably got one of the most, I would say, an elite second jump, which is just crazy that's why he's such a great rebounder. That second jump, when people are coming down off their first jump, he is going back up most of the time. He is very quick on his post moves as far as jumping and finishing. He is very good finishing lobs, and if he gets near the rim, he's usually going to try to bring it down with a slam instead of going for a soft layup. Now, Marvin Bagley also this year displayed a very good three-point shot. I wouldn't say he was a prolific three-point shooter. As I said, he was under 2 attempts per game, but he did hit 40% of the shots that he did take, which makes him a very, very passable three-point shooter. Now, I've seen a lot of things on the internet about his shooting and the future prediction that he's probably going to be a pretty good shooter in the pros. You don't see too many off the dribble shots for him, but as far as a standstill shooter, somebody be able to spread the floor, sit in the corner, or even at the top of the key and make jump shots, because a lot of his three-pointers were at the top of the key, which is a very good sign to me, because I don't think he's going to be a kind of guy that's going to be sitting out at three-point line, but he's going to be a guy that you can run high pick and rolls with, and he can pick and pop out to the three-point line, which would be a good change up for him as far as getting bigs out there, especially if he's playing at the 5. Now I'm not gonna lie, coming into this season, I really wasn't the biggest Marvin Bagley fan. What was that things that I'm not a big Bagley guy. I wasn't a big Bagley guy. So he's one of the guys that I really watched a lot of live games with this year. One of the prospects that I really watched a lot of live games with, and it was simply because I didn't like him. So I really wanted to give him a fair shake, and what I did see was he kind of won me over as far as what his NBA potential is going to go. And I know people are going to say, well, he was the #1 prospect. What are you talking about? Well, one of my big things when scouting players, especially high school and college future NBA players, is body movement. And I like guys to look like a basketball player, and it's one of the things that you can see. Some guys who look like a basketball player, they won't succeed because of other reasons. But it's that look that you have when guys like LeBron James and James Harden and other guys, elite guys, and I'm talking about elite guys, running down the court. They look really, really coordinated as far as in all facets of the game, as far as even changing into the court. They look real coordinated. And in my opinion, Bagley always looked a little gangly to me. I mean, he was fast, he's athletic, but he looks gangly. Sometimes he doesn't look comfortable with the ball, especially in traffic. Sometimes I don't know if it's maybe he's one of those people with a long stride and long legs, and that makes him look gangly. But to me, it's just the visual that threw me off, especially initially. Now, he did win me over because, I watched a lot of him, a lot of his past, highlights, especially from, pre-senior year. And in those highlights, he looked a lot more small forward-ish, and which was very encouraging to me, because even it took me a lot of looking at measurements and stuff, and people talking about measurements, for me to even believe that he was actually 6'10", 6'11", because when you see him move, he just does not look like he's a 6'11" player. And I guess that's part of the reason that was kind of throwing me off with the visual, is he doesn't move like a 6'11" player at all. I mean, and that's probably why some of the reason why he does look gangly to me, is because he is so freaking tall and he moves so athletically. But as far as his game, I think he's a very limited offensive player as far as what he can do right now. I think he has the potential to become a much better offensive player, especially doing stuff off the dribble. But it's going to take a lot of work. But one of the things he does have is he has the most hellacious motor I've seen in college basketball in a while. He is always moving and playing hard. Now, in my opinion, he wasn't in the best of shape, because you can see that with that motor, when he plays extended minutes, and I mean extended minutes as far as shifts go, he does kind of slow down a little bit as far as that crazy motor goes. So I think that one of the things he needs to do over the off season is get in crazy conditioning, so he can actually just do this for 35 minutes a game, 82 games a season, and just really punish people, because most bigs just simply will not have the go in them, and especially they won't have the go in them to match his athleticism. If he gets in I think getting in real phenomenal aerobic shape would be more important to him for getting stronger, because that's going to be his initial skill in the NBA, his athleticism and his motor. And that athleticism and motor is going to allow him probably to be a double-figure rebounder off the, per 36 from his rookie season. He's going to get to a lot of balls, especially with the spacing of the NBA. He's going to beat his man to a lot of balls, either vertically or getting the balls out of space. Also, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities for pick and pop chances. If he can extend his range out to the NBA three-point line, his pick and pop chances are going to be phenomenal. I think he's going to be his ability to be able to dive or straight line drive to punish people coming out to challenge his shot is going to be pretty lethal. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him develop as an NBA player, because I think he has a lot of tools to work with. If he can tighten up his handle and start to do some things off the dribble, as far as jumpers off the dribble, I think he can be an elite scorer. That's going to be the difference between him being a 18 to 20 point per game guy that gets a lot of his stuff on hustles and free throw line and all that kind of stuff, and from him being a 25 plus point per game guy who can learn to punish switches, take people off the dribble. And this is the thing that I really look for. I just still haven't seen him do anything off the dribble as far as step backs off the dribble or things like that. And hopefully he has it in his repertoire. I think I've seen like one episode of that when he was like a sophomore, junior in high school. So hopefully that's something that he works on over the summer, because I think that even if it's just a two-step, show and then, rise up off the dribble, step back, is going to be a very telling part of his game, because his shot, as far as being a trailer coming off the break and being able to hit 3-pointers. He did that a lot at Duke. I think he's going to eventually be a 2010 guy. I don't think, like a lot of people say, he'll be able to do it as a rookie. I think that's asking a little bit too much, but I think he's going to be a great rebounder as a rookie. I don't think his scoring is quite going to be there. I don't think his skill and knowledge level is going to allow him to score 20 points per game as a rookie. I could be wrong. Now, I hope to be wrong, even if Memphis doesn't get him. Now, let's do the fit with the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, as far as the Memphis Grizzlies, we have, like I've been saying, we have Mike Conley and Marc Gasol already, center and point guard and center, however I said it. And we do have a slew of young, nondescript power forwards. We have, JaMychal Green's not that young, but we have Ivan Rabb, we have Jarrell Martin. I don't think we're going to keep Bryce Johnson around, but so we have 3 options already, young options at power forward, pretty nondescript as far as their NBA careers. And right now, Jarrell Martin has spent most of the season playing at a position at small forward. JaMychal Green is probably going to be I don't know. I don't think he would be the starter over Marvin Bagley next year, but he's going to be hard to get take a lot of minutes from. He'll probably allow Marvin Bagley to play a lot of minutes at center to back up Marc Gasol, but that's what we have. We also have, we also have one young center also on the Memphis Grizzlies, Deontay Davis. So the Grizz have been, pretty bullish on developing Deontay Davis. So, as a backup to Marc Gasol, but also he's kind of been pretty meh as far as being a future rotation player on a playoff team. So I think, playing in Memphis, being drafted in Memphis, Marvin Bagley will be able to play probably 30 plus minutes off the bat as a rookie and will be a starter for Memphis, obviously, as a top 5 pick. And I think he will be able to provide some things that we don't have as far as showing up our rebounding, providing a little floor spacing, being able to be a phenomenal pick and roll partner with Mike Conley if he can learn to set some good screens, which he's kind of been, with as a freshman in college. But if he can learn to set some good screens and really, really study how to run the pick and roll in the NBA, he has a lot of potential. And one of my things with looking at prospects, I always try to find a comp for them, an NBA comp for them, to help me in my mind see what they're going to be on the NBA level. And the main comp I found for him is very ironic because he's from the Phoenix, Arizona area, is Amare Stoudemire. Now, he is not as explosive, especially off the dribble, as Amare, but he does a lot of other things that are very similar to Amare. And I think if he can really study what Amare Stoudemire was doing with Steve Nash in the pick and roll, he can really, really, really have some success early as an NBA player, especially the way the NBA is going right now. Marvin Bagley as a pick and roll guy would be very, very deadly in today's NBA because he can play the 5 and run pick and roll and be able to pick and pop on the outside. He's going to be too fast for a lot of centers to handle in spacing. He is going to be too tall and too athletic for even shooting guards and small forwards to keep off the rim and off the board. So I think he is one of those guys that could be an ideal fit for Memphis. I would love to have him being a draft pick, and he's probably not one of the guys I'm highest on. People already know that I'm highest on Trae Young right now, and probably second would be Michael Porter if he's healthy. And then, but it's just that my philosophy that if you got a top 5 pick, especially in a top 5 pick in a draft like this, you got to get somebody who can put the ball in the bucket. You can't get a defensive role player at top 5, even though I understand the value of defensive role players in the NBA. I just think you can find them later in the draft and through free agency. So that's just one of my draft philosophies, that in the top 5 that you want to get somebody who has the potential to be a 20-point per game scorer, because the NBA is offensive league, even though I do not doubt the value of defense, as far as NBA is concerned. So yeah, that's it on Marvin Bagley, and I think he'll be an ideal fit. Where do I see him getting drafted as far as in the NBA, in the 2018 NBA draft? I see it really depends on workouts, what kind of skill level he develops over, the next 2 months. What the background is regarding, as far as Marvin Bagley and other players, especially I would say DeAndre Ayton, as far as what NBA's, front offices find out as far as their background. Because I think Marvin Bagley in certain situations has the potential to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft. Now, that's probably going to be hampered by his inability to, or his supposed inability to provide rim protection at the 5. I mean, if he was a rim protector at the 5, he would probably be the #1 pick already. If he had a demonstrated ability to do that in the college level, if he was doing that in the college level, he would be the #1 pick. But if he can, somehow convince NBA guys that he has a future as a, even a rudimentary NBA rim protector, as a 5. I want to say small ball 5, but the guy is 6'11", so he's not a small ball 5. He is just going to be a 5 that's going to really, really punish small ball 5s. So I think if he can do that, he has the potential to be the #1 pick. I don't think, since he hasn't demonstrated that as far as on the college level, I would say that he's going to fall anywhere between 2 and 6, depending on the draft order. I think there's some teams that he will really fit in. Like if Phoenix misses out on DeAndre Ayton, I think they would draft Marvin Bagley in a hot second, wherever they fit at 2, 3, or 4. So I think that's probably, if Phoenix misses out on DeAndre Ayton, his floor is probably the Phoenix pick. If Phoenix does get DeAndre Ayton at #1 or #2, it really depends on the draft order. I don't see him falling any further than 6 in the NBA draft, because he's just too good for that. So anywhere between 1 and 6, more likely 2 to 6. I think he has an outside chance of being a #1 pick. I think he'd be a real good face of the franchise, and I think you just cannot discount somebody who plays hard all the freaking time. And he has a little asshole in his game where he likes to really, really destroy people. I think he has that in his game, that he would really like to be somebody putting 30, 35 points in somebody's grill in an NBA game and smashing on them in an NBA game. If you watch all his tapes through Duke, from Duke on down through high school, through AAU, you see he has that kind of attitude where he really likes to punish people in the game. So that's going to be it on Marvin Bagley. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button. Man, this video went a little long. I guess I do like Marvin Bagley now. But subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications so you can be up to date on the next video. And I think the next video we're going to do is Michael Porter. Now, I was going to do the McDonald's All-American game reaction video, but man, I watched that game, and man, that game was so slow as far as the energy level, and the players were just like blah blah blah. I didn't even want to bore you guys with it. Just catch the highlight video on Frankie Vision's channel on YouTube. Watch the highlights and you'll see it. But man, there's nothing to see from that really to me as far as predicting or getting anything out of that as far as 2019 NBA draft, which is why we're going to be here. So before this gets to 20 minutes or past 20 minutes on me just rambling on, peace.